Hello, I'm Vlad from ReikiScoop, and welcome to today's video. We're going to have an interesting subject today, namely, can you practice Reiki if you're not attuned to Reiki? The answers might surprise you, and yes, there's more than one answer. Before we get into it, please consider liking this video, subscribing so that other Reiki enthusiasts or practitioners can find videos such as this one, so we can all develop our practice and offer better content for our spiritual development. With that being said, let's get into it. Can you practice Reiki if you're not attuned to Reiki? Well, first of all, let's define a little bit what is Reiki. Reiki is a centenary method for channeling the universal life force energy towards healing and raising your perception, understanding your role in this world, raising your vibration, and even helping others. In turn, this concept of channeling the so-called universal life force energy, and I will explain what it is in a moment, is a millenary concept. It doesn't belong only to Reiki. It's a concept that dates thousands of years back. And the idea of channeling universal life force energy in a more systematic way is approached by what we know as Reiki today. But not only by Reiki, there are other practices, other methods, other engagements such as meditation, yoga, theta healing, qigong, even praying, that are meant for channeling this universal life force energy. Some call it light, divine light. Some call it qi or ki. There are many names for it. Regardless, this is in lack of a better word, the energy that surrounds us and helps us function, exist, interact, engage with life itself. It's what animates our bodies beyond the biological level. We are all connected to universal life force energy, whether we believe in it or not, whether we like it or not, we are connected to it. Otherwise, we would not be here, we would not be alive. Every living creature in the known physical universe has a little bit, just a little bit at least, of that universal life force energy. And I'm talking here about a spiritual level, that's true. The biological level refers to cellular level organisms, atoms, electrons, protons. All of those are assembled through the energy and information that's distributed in such a way in the physical level that creates life. But at the very core of each of those cells and protons and electrons, at the very core of each one of those, there is energy and information that is connected to universal life force energy. And that energy and information, again, is distributed in the physical world so that it can form physical matter. The thing is that, considering that we're all connected to universal life force energy, can we use it, channel it, interact with it more deeply, even if we're not attuned to Reiki or to any kind of practice for that matter? Well, the short answer is yes. You can. You can channel it, you can use it, and you can theoretically practice Reiki and other practices. You can use meditations, you can use any other methods that you might resonate with. However, you can do this to some extent, and it's not about power here, it's about knowledge, and it's about understanding and knowing that the more you interact in a more knowledgeable and wiser and systematic way with the universal life force energy, helps you cleanse the main energy channels and helps you clear the mind and helps you have a better perception and perspective of what you are dealing with. And that means integration of that practicing, and means integration of that knowledge and that way, that systematized way that helps you channel the universal life force energy. So the knowledge, the actual interaction, knowing what you are doing, knowing how to do certain things, helps you integrate the whole concept of channeling universal life force energy. So Reiki is one of those ways that helps you better guide and channel universal life force energy for your greater good or greater good of others, healing, and so on. So, in conclusion, yes, you can. That's the short answer. The more complex answer is, well, you can, but are you aware of when and how you are using universal life force energy? Because when you are spending time in nature, you are connected to a part, a manifestation of the universal life force energy, because nature is itself, the organism, the life in nature is an extent of a certain level of universal life force energy. When you pray, regardless of your religion, when you sit for prayer and you invoke divinity in your own way, or you invoke an angel or archangel or divine power, divine light, you are channeling universal life force energy to the extent of that prayer, or to the extent of the algorithm that you are using or the words that you are using. But here's the thing, each person accesses a different level of universal life force energy. That level depends on how open they are, how much knowledge they have, their vibrational level, their current vibrational level, how much they have healed regarding this life, past lives, karmic elements, present moment, how much they want to understand within the universal life force energy, knowledge, wisdom spectrum. So the more you advance, the more you cleanse those karmic depths, the more you raise your vibration, the more you engage with understanding how you function on energetic, emotional, and spiritual level, the more you integrate not only the concept, but the flow becomes more abundant. You integrate a better flow of universal life force energy. And that allows you to channel it better and better, more efficiently and more efficiently, more abundant. And from that moment on, you are kind of knowing what you're doing. You already are engaged with this channeling. You don't need Reiki to use universal life force energy to channel it. You don't need Reiki. Reiki is just a way. It's a great way from my perspective. Maybe I'm a bit subjective because I'm a practitioner, I'm a teacher. But I have to be very honest, it's not the only way, again. So if you're not attuned to Reiki, to come back to the subject, but you want to practice Reiki, and you can't find a teacher, or you just are not sure about engaging in receiving a so-called attunement. And I will explain in a minute what does it mean to receive an attunement. So if you don't want, you don't trust the idea of receiving an attunement, but you do want to kind of practice Reiki and channel universal life force energy, what you can do is use a short self-guided meditation in which you visualize a beam of white light traveling through the top of your head, where the crown chakra resides. Top of the head goes slowly, gradually throughout your body. And we can practice that later on, just for a few minutes to see how it feels. So you can just have a short meditation, and after that, you can just, rub your hands thoroughly one to another. You can stay in the gasho or praying position, or just hold your hands up or place them on your lap, or raise them above your head as you wish, and say a prayer that you resonate with, or a series of prayers. This will further allow you to enhance the flow of universal life force energy. And the third step is to use the hand positions. The hand positions vary depending on how you wish to approach Reiki. Usually I follow the pattern of chakras, the 7 primary chakras, but you don't have to use that. And I start from the head. The crown chakra, third eye chakra with back projection, or brain hemispheres, throat area you can use with back projection, heart, lungs, because you can't put your hand on the lungs, chest, heart area, as I mentioned, abdomen, you can use abdomen on the left, you can use abdomen on the right, you can use the solar plexus chakra, you can use the projection of the solar plexus chakra, you can use the lower abdomen, hips, root chakra, inguinal area, knees, feet, you can use on your shoulders. There are many positions. I do have an article regarding Reiki hand positions, and it's for free. You can access it in my articles section. So, and I go more and more about the hand positions, and we practice together on Bliss Premium. So coming back, this is how you can easily practice Reiki without being attuned. So yes, technically or theoretically you can, and technically you can to some extent. Now, if you wish to have a more abundant flow of universal energy and to understand what's going on and to understand what it means to place your palms on certain areas of the body and what happens when you do that, because it's the entire process, entire energetic process you are transferring, because you are attuned to Reiki, you have a more abundant flow of energy. Therefore, you are transferring universal energy to a certain part of the body, let's just say the chest area. So you are enhancing the healing process of your heart chakra, and maybe your heart as an organ, and the thymus gland in this area, because I chose this area instinctively. And something happens, you are raising the vibration of that place, meaning that you are placing in a state of healing, meaning that you are removing negative energies, energetic obstacles, blockages, and you are allowing for a more smoother flow of energy in that place. That means that you are placing in a state of healing that area of the body. This means that you are able to function differently, better. And when you place your hands on the chest area, you enhance certain properties, attributes, values, in this case, things that are related to the heart and the heart chakra. Forgiveness, love, compassion, selflessness, understanding of others, expressing emotions. Those are elements that are connected to the heart chakra area. So you are also enhancing the expression and manifestation of those values and elements. You go to another part of the body, you go to the head area where the third eye chakra resides. Don't worry, this doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see things. No, what this means is that you will enhance intuition, perception, a healthy perception of life, a healthy perception of yourself in connection to the outside world, a thirst for knowledge, intuition, as I mentioned, a thirst for wisdom, a desire to understand the world from a wiser point of view. So each area of the body, not only that is stimulated when you place your palms on that area of the body, not only that it stimulates the healing process of that area of the body, but you also enhance certain values, certain attributes, divine attributes, energetic attributes, moral attributes even, for that area of the body, and things change in your life, and you change. And you begin to understand that things were not as you thought before, that you need to take a step back and rethink a few elements in your life and approaches in your life. Gossips, criticism of others. Why don't they do that? Why those other people don't do the way I think it's better? Maybe the way I think is not that good. Maybe I should develop myself and understand that each person is at their own level at this very moment in time. Maybe I can understand that I have a higher role, more important role in my life, personally, in the life of others, and in the perspective of this world. Maybe I can do a lot more. So potentials, spiritual potentials begin to awake. When understanding of yourself, how you function, an energetic and emotional level begins to arise. And, well, your life changes. This does not happen overnight. That's the catch. If there's any catch, that will be it. It takes time. I have yet to see a person that with one Reiki session changes their life completely, unless they already were on a healing path and they really wanted to have this epiphany. For those, maybe 1 or 2 sessions will be like life-changing. But for most people, and including myself, it took quite some time. For some people it takes weeks, others months, others years. For me it took years. But that's just me. People are different. You might be different. Maybe for you it takes a few weeks, maybe a few months to understand those elements I'm trying to explain to you. Because it depends from where we start, from the level that we are at the moment we start. So if you're already engaged in this idea and you're watching this video, engage the idea of healing and changing your perception and values, it means that you're ready to start practicing. And maybe this integration is faster than it was for me or for other people. So it depends on you, really. But it does usually not happen overnight. It takes some time. And that's good, because that's when we form a discipline and we understand that we need to work with ourselves. So the point is that working with universal life force energy for healing, changing perception, raising the vibration, whether it is to Reiki or not, takes some time. And you can practice it even if you're not properly attuned to Reiki. I was mentioning that I will explain why do I say attunement and what's the importance of Reiki attunement, because it's related to the subject of practicing Reiki with or without, channeling universal energy, practicing Reiki without being attuned to Reiki. The attunement, basically, in short, is you align yourself with a higher frequency, higher flow of universal life force energy so that you can benefit from a more abundant flow of energy throughout your body. And the process of healing is more efficient and maybe faster. And you are directing that energy in a more efficient manner, in a more directed manner, for lack of a better term. You access certain symbols, which are not religious symbols. They are kotodamas in Japanese. They are spiritual concepts, or a multitude of spiritual concepts within one representation. And that representation helps you further increase the healing process and helps you further level your perception, to take your perception to a new level, to say it better. The way I was mentioning before, understanding yourself, your role in your life, and role in other people's lives, and understanding your connection with the outside world from a deeper perspective, from a more spiritual and energetical point of view. So, yes, you can. Just know that sometimes it's up to you, most of the times it's up to you, how much you extend that knowledge and how much you extend the possibilities of channeling universal life force energy, even if you're not attuned to Reiki. So, let's practice a short meditation. And we're not going to use Reiki in a technical way, let's say. You just need to be relaxed. Place your palms on your lap. Keep your back as straight as possible, but sit comfortably in a chair. Place your tongue on the roof of your mouth so that the Renmai and Dumai meridians can be a little bit more aligned and the universal energy will flow smoother. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. And visualize a beam of white light descending upon the top of your head, where the crown chakra resides. And this beam of white light gently travels through all the head area, cleansing the brain of unuseful patterns and thoughts, stimulating pineal gland, pituitary gland, hypothalamus, cleansing the throat chakra as it goes lower, entering your lungs, cleansing them from negative energy, projections, cleansing your heart chakra, thymus gland, the heart as an organ, and then it descends lower to your upper abdomen, cleansing pancreas, spleen, stomach, even the liver, all the digestive system going down to the kidneys, intestines, cleansing the sacral chakra, going down to the root chakra, the inguinal area, descending through the hips, the thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet, and going down to the earth's crust, taking with it all negative energy and patterns that are not useful for you and for your development. Breathe. And remain like this for a couple of minutes. Relax. Breathe. Can gently come back to the physical body, perceive it more and more, and when you feel ready, gently open your eyes. So if you were not attuned to Reiki and you practiced this meditation, let me know how it felt. Let me know if you have any questions, perhaps, if you're not, especially if you're not attuned to Reiki. So don't forget to give it a thumbs up to this video and to subscribe and even share it, because to be honest, it helps me as well, and it helps me offer better content, helps the channel, and helps other Reiki practitioners and enthusiasts to find this type of content. With that being said, thank you so much for staying until the end and for being here, and blessings to you. I'll see you in the next video.